Alright, today I'm working on getting these factory fender flares off the Jeep. That way I can install some larger aftermarket ones so I have better tire coverage. And I'm looking to install some of the flat style fender flares. And if you look at a lot of the videos on YouTube, the fender flares just magically come off and the new ones get put on. And it would seem pretty straightforward because there's just a series of bolts or screws underneath the lip here that hold it on, but it's actually not that easy when you have a Jeep that's seen any kind of corrosion. The little side trim pieces that go here bolt into these little things called nutserts, and they're little metal, almost like a bolt, or I mean a nut, that are compressed into the body of the Jeep. And if these are really rusted, a lot of times they'll just turn when you try to turn the screw. So try to use a little penetrating oil if you can. Sometimes you have to just cut off the screw heads with a cutoff wheel. I got kind of lucky, and these came out on here. There's a couple of them on the front, 1, 2, 3 of them that go up under here, and then one up front. On the other side, I was able to already get fender off, and on this side the bottom one came out, the second one came out, and then this one right here ended up pulling the whole, I just ended up yanking the whole thing out. So when I go to put the new fenders on, I'm gonna have to figure out a solution. It would be pretty hard to reach all the way up in here from the bottom side. There is access, but that'd be pretty tight, so I'll figure something out for that. But in this video, I'm going to show you here on the other side how you go about getting these things off. Alright, so the first thing I did was I jacked up the rear end, supported the vehicle on jack stands. That way I can take the tires off. Some people will say that you can do this without taking the tire off, but if your Jeep's lifted, that would help. But I'm telling you, it's going to make it way easier on you to just take the wheels off. Take a few minutes, do your preparation right, take the wheels off. Alright, so what we have to do now is remove the black plastic slightly. We don't have to completely remove this liner unless you want to, but that just makes it hard work. So we just need to loosen this up, and it's held on with the nylon push clips. And up here on the front, there's one of them right here that needs to come out, and there's another one here, and then on the rear there's one or two back here. I believe there's just one right here, and then up under here you have this, which needs to be pushed this way, and over here another one which will push out that way. And the best thing you can use for this is a trim removal tool. I'll show you in a second how you do that. But also, we're going to go ahead and start with the back here. So this is a trim removal tool. Looks something like this. This makes it a lot easier to get these out without destroying them. So just stick it under here. Alright, there's that one. That one appears to have broken a little bit coming out, but they have been in here for a very long time. So if you break some, be prepared to buy some replacements. And there's another way to do it. Pulled through. A lot of dirt hidden back here. Alright, get that one out. over here. Alright, now I'm just going to work my way. So the first bolt down here is actually one of those nutserts like I was talking about. So you just have to pray that that comes out. And this is probably the best tool for this, one of these ratcheting wrenches. Because even a socket, there's not a lot of clearance in here. So you get this in here and just try to break it loose carefully. I have a feeling that that has just spun that nutsert, and this is not going to come out. This is what I was talking about. Because if you keep spinning it and it's not getting any looser, then that's what happened. I got lucky on the other side, and it was able to come out, but apparently I'm not going to get lucky on this side. I'm going to skip that one for now and move on to the next one, which is it's not a nutsert. When you get up here, pry this back just enough. Actually, yeah, this second one is a nutsert on the side, so let's try it. This one is loosening up. That one come out. Right. So move up to the next one. Push this little tab through. Just a little room to work here. On the back, there's a little black plastic retainer. It's like a rectangle shape. I'm not going to really be able to show it to you. I'll show it to you once it comes out. But I take a pair of these locking vice grips. That way you can do this by yourself. And hook this on there. Like that. Oh, it'll spin. Oops. It's like a tedious process. Yeah, just real. This isn't tedious. Slow process too. Alright, so there's that. Pull this out. You see, that's what the little retainer looks like, just a little black plastic piece. So if you get these locked on there, it makes easy work of it. Different. So I'm going to push this out, the second one. Right. So the rest of these, it's all the same thing. Work your way down the line. Alright. This Jeep spent its whole life in central Ohio / northern Ohio, so everything's pretty corroded. But I'd say anything that's been on here, for as long as these are even in the non-rust belt areas, is going to be just as bad. So this is like the most tedious, stupid project I've done on the Jeep. Back of one of those nutserts look like. Alright, so that's all of them except that one that was stuck in the front. So what I'm going to do is just rip that off like that. Just plastic. And then you get a couple options for this. You can either take a Dremel cutoff wheel and like get behind there and cut it off, or you can use something like this and just try to pry it out. Just know that you're going to screw stuff up doing this. So that pulled it out with the piece attached, and that's what goes into the body. But depending on the flares you have, you can actually, it's not the best idea. Like if you lost a bunch of these, it would not work, but you can use just for like the occasional one like this. This is the only one on the side, one of those nylon push rivets to, you know, put it back on. It will hold it tight against the body. Alright, so I've moved to the front. Here's what the back side of the nutserts on the rear of the front wheel look like up in there. So try to get some penetrating oil on those right there. We'll see what kind of luck I have. Bottom two maybe. Top one, I don't know. The middle one, it's questionable. So we'll see. I'm going to start by turning the light bulb out of the socket back here. Just to get it out of the way. Start with the one that's closest to the front, and most of the ones on the front are like the ones in the back with the little plastic parts. This one I might be able to just hold with my fingers. This bottom one. This one's going to require some pliers action. So all I can say about the front ones is patience is your friend. So just be prepared, because there's 5 million of these across the front, but they're all the kind that you can reach with the back until you get to the rear 3, the last 3 on the back. Okay, so this will test your patience. Alright, well, unfortunately all 3 of them on this side, apparently this side is way worse than the other side, decided that they were going to get jammed. So, as a last ditch effort, I'm going to use an impact gun and try to just bump them out real quick, but they're probably all going to have to be pried out, which sucks, because it'd be nice to have one of them intact. And you can get the nutsert tool and put new ones in, but I don't think I'm going to bother to do all that. This is, of course, not working. So that's the dirty truth about taking off your OEM fender flares on your Jeep. And this right here, you can see that's why they would not come out, because over the years, I thought that one would come out, but over the years they've just rusted into one solid piece. And that's just a compression fit into the body right here. So, like I said, be patient. You may have to do some rigging on when you're putting your new flares on, but that's how you do it.